Okay, hodlers, we're going all TA mode. Bitcoin is on a dip. What's going on? Is everything okay? Are we still in a bull market? Is this going to be bullish again? I've said this before. I reserve the right to still be bearish as long as we're under $52,000 for Bitcoin. We're going to be looking at the charts right now, where we are, why I don't think you should worry at all. I mean, it's a dip, right? And this is to be expected, especially in cryptocurrency. So taking a look at the charts, we have some numbers mapped out here, and we have some numbers that you'll remember very often. So we have these channels that we've seen before. So one is $32,000, around $32,000 Bitcoin, which is our bottom. We called that 32,000 that we would hold somewhere around the 32,000 zone. Now we did dip below into the 29,000 at one point, but we were able to make it up. Now again, this is the line that we broke is the 42,000, and again we talked about why that 42,000, why we broke. We had that candle that kind of held at 42, and then we just kind of smashed right through as soon as we broke that line of support. Now we have been above our 42,000, and I've consistently said until Bitcoin is above 52,000 with some sort of conviction, then we are still kind of in a bearish stance. Obviously, Bitcoin has been rejected. Now my line is a little bit higher than 52,000. We did hit 52,000, but again, I said with some sort of conviction. So we still need to get a little bit of a higher price. We could even say 53,000, but still, either way, we need to be above 52,000 for maybe a couple of weeks at least. So right now we're just looking at Bitcoin just getting rejected from that critical level. And you can see we wicked down all the way down to that 42,000, which again, once we go over a line of resistance, it becomes a line of support. So we did get support at that 42,000. We were able to bump up again. And now we're here. Now, if you take a look at this dip, this is no way the worst dip that we've ever had in cryptocurrency. Obviously, we've all lived through that dip. Right now, we're currently sitting at a 10% dip. Bitcoin is down, yeah, exactly 10%. Cardano is down 14%, XRP down 20%, Ethereum down 12%, KSM down 17%, BNB down 15.3%. I don't know why I'm tracking Litecoin, but Litecoin is down 18%. Polkadot is down 18.9. I think actually Polkadot would be somewhere within the realm of buying territory maybe soon. I wish I caught this wick. Actually, I wish I had buy orders, but nobody could predict something like this. Either way, should you be worried at this point with cryptocurrency? Should you be worried about Bitcoin? Absolutely not. There's nothing to be worried about right here. In recent news, in terms of the news, El Salvador is buying more Bitcoin. I think they have 550 Bitcoin, which comes up to roughly like $26 million in Bitcoin. So, I mean, like the news is bullish. Bitcoin is going to go higher. Am I buying? Which is probably a question that most people are going to ask me. Am I buying Bitcoin? Not really. It's not low enough for me to want to buy Bitcoin. I mean, down here was a great opportunity for a short-term trade. Again, I DCA'd and accumulated through the bear market, right, down in this range. So it's not as appealing for me to buy up here. But if you're looking to add on to your bags, I mean, yes, you can take advantage of this dip. Yes, it can go down further, but I wouldn't be thinking that it would go down much below maybe that 42,000. Now, when we look at our weekly chart, we discussed about our 50-week moving average, how many times we've been below that, and traditionally why it's been a good idea to buy around the 50-week moving average. So we see that here in the March capitulation. We saw that after 2017 as somewhere around here, so that big long stretch being below the 50-week. And then here I was basically screaming to the rooftops for a little bit, hey, when we're at the 50-week moving average, you should buy. Now, if you look at where we're at right now, we're nowhere really close to the 50-week moving average. We've increased a lot. So right now is not buying territory for me. Again, if you don't have a lot in your bags, I mean, DCA, and as long as you're in for the long term, there's nothing wrong with that. But the reality is that we could go down a little bit more. But I think, this is all par for the course. Now, I think what people are afraid of right now is the fact that a lot of people are thinking that they were going to get a market peak sometime in September. And when you look at the market cycles in general, so Of course, I'm of the minority to say that market cycles are probably going to lengthen over time, but it's also important to know that stock to flow and all these other 4-year market cycle theories that are out there, these are all theories as well, right? And nothing's really proven. Bitcoin is so new and adolescent that we really have no idea what really is going to happen. But a lot of people have been calling for that September market peak. Now, for full transparency on my end, I did call for that September market peak in literally the video that is my channel trailer when I'm explaining what a market cycle is. I still think that video is good, and I was misguided in thinking that, hey, we were going to peak in September, but also that was months before we're at this point now, where it kind of looks like more so that we would have a lengthening cycle, especially with this dip and this correction here. Now, of course, we can still hit sometime in September. I mean, sure, it's a non-negligible chance that we hit that 150K Bitcoin in September, but we'd have to make some incredible moves and do it fast if we're going to hit that, because obviously we're 1 week into September now, and we have 3 weeks basically to solve that. Now, I know I've discussed this before on live streams, possibly on a video. Here is something like the Bitcoin rainbow price chart. Kind of gives you a breakout of when it's time to buy, when it's time to sell, you know, what's maximum bubble territory. So up at the very, very top is maximum bubble. This is top euphoria, market peak kind of deal. Now, down in here is where we have, is this a bubble, which is where we were before the whole Wyckoff distribution stuff. And now we're in this hodl phase where we're not really in a time to dramatically buy quite yet. And we're not really in a time to really sell. We're not at those types of gains yet. But you do see below here, we had that still cheap, that point that we hit at the 50-week moving average. Now we have shot up a good amount past that. So right now is not, I wouldn't be personally buying anything right now. Maybe there are specific altcoins that you want to speculate in, but personally, I'm not buying anything specifically. Perhaps there are some coins to get a better position in before they keep going, but right now, I'm not buying anything like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Cardano or anything like that. Now, there is a lot of talk of whether or not we're going to hit a market peak in September. I personally am against that market peak in September ideology, because we're so close to September, and I really don't think that we're going to hit it. Even if we do, if we take a look at a quick logarithmic regression band, how I have this calculated out comes to $135,000 per Bitcoin if we do hit in September. But of course, the longer that we go, the higher our Bitcoin gets to be. But that being said, it just right now, it just doesn't seem like that's going to be in the cards. I personally don't see us getting up to a market peak in September, the top of our regression band. I more would likely be willing to see something happen within August, September of 2022, possibly even into 2023 and heading into a market peak. But again, I'm in the minority of saying things like that. I understand that that's not the popular expression. A lot of people think that we're going to be hitting the market peak in September, but I'd just like to remind everyone that stock to flow and lengthening market cycles and all of this stuff is really still just theories. We don't actually know, because Bitcoin is just so adolescent. But either way, just to end this off, I don't think anyone has anything specific to worry about. Bitcoin hasn't hit any critical levels. The lowest we will possibly see Bitcoin hit is potentially 42,000. Bounce back off, but we will see whether or not, because last time I said things like that, we did drop dramatically. So the tone can always change. As I said before, I respect the right to be bearish while we're below $52,000 Bitcoin, and we are remaining below that $52,000 Bitcoin. That's it for me. If you did like this video, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe to the channel for more crypto news and content, and of course, happy hodling.